Hello, friends. Hope you're having a great day. It's time to share with you another topic from my book called Before You Give Your Heart. So, today's topic is the difference between chemistry and compatibility. Sometimes, one of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships is confusing chemistry with compatibility. They feel something powerful, something exciting, something intense, something that makes their heart move quickly. And because the feeling is strong, they assume the connection must be right. They assume the person must be special. They assume the attraction must mean alignment. They assume the excitement must mean love. But chemistry and compatibility are not the same thing. Oh yes, chemistry is what you may feel quickly. Compatibility is what must be proven over time. Chemistry can create attraction. Compatibility creates stability. Chemistry can make you interested. Compatibility helps you build. Chemistry can make you feel emotionally alive, but compatibility helps you feel emotionally safe. And if you do not know the difference, you may give your heart to someone simply because the connection feels powerful, even when the relationship is not healthy. That is why this conversation matters. Because before you give your heart, you must learn how to separate what excites you from what is actually good for you. You must learn how to separate attraction from alignment. You must learn how to separate emotional intensity from emotional safety. You must learn how to separate the spark from the substance, because a spark can start a fire, but it takes character, wisdom, maturity, values, communication, patience, peace, and commitment to build something that lasts. And many people have been hurt, not because there was no chemistry, but because there was chemistry without compatibility. They had attraction, but no peace. They had excitement, but no stability. They had connection, but no clarity. They had intention, but no maturity. They had desire, but no direction. They had feelings, but no foundation. And feelings alone cannot carry a relationship. So in this video, I want to talk about the difference between chemistry and compatibility and why you must understand that difference before you give your heart. Point number one, chemistry can be instant, but compatibility must be tested. Oh yes, chemistry can happen quickly. Sometimes you meet someone and there is an immediate attraction. The conversation flows. The energy feels easy. You laugh naturally. You feel seen. You feel excited. You feel curious. You feel drawn. There's a pull. There's interest. There's emotional movement. And chemistry can feel very convincing. It can make you think, this must mean something. This feels different. I've never felt this way before. Maybe this is the one. But the fact that something feels powerful does not automatically mean it is healthy. Chemistry may introduce a connection, but compatibility must be tested through time, observation, and reality. You can not know the true compatibility only from a feeling. You discover compatibility by watching patterns. How does this person handle conflict? How do they communicate when emotions are high? How do they respond when they are disappointed? How do they respect boundaries? How do they treat people when they are not trying to impress you? How do they handle responsibility? How do they respond to correction? How do they manage anger? How do they behave when they do not get what they want. Chemistry may show you that you are attracted, but compatibility shows you whether you can build. And that is a major difference. Because someone can be exciting and still be emotionally immature. Someone can be attractive and still be inconsistent. Someone can make you laugh and still not be trustworthy. Someone can say all the right things and still lack character. Someone can make your heart move and still not be good for your future. This is why you cannot give your heart based only on the feeling of chemistry. Chemistry may be the beginning of interest, but it should never be the final proof of readiness. Time must test the connection. Character must test the attraction. Peace must test the excitement. Wisdom must test the emotion. Because compatibility is not proven by how good the beginning feels. Compatibility is proven by what remains after the excitement settles. Point number 2. Chemistry can create attraction, but compatibility creates safety. Oh yes, chemistry can make you attracted to someone, can make you want to talk to them. It can make you want to be around them. It can make their presence feel exciting. It can make you feel emotionally awakened. But compatibility is deeper. Compatibility creates emotional safety. And emotional safety matters. A relationship should not only make you feel excited, it should also make you feel safe enough to be honest, safe enough to express concerns, safe enough to have boundaries, safe enough to communicate without fear, safe enough to be vulnerable without being punished, safe enough to grow without being controlled, safe enough to speak truth without being manipulated. Chemistry asks, do I feel drawn to this person? Compatibility asks, do I feel safe with this person? That question is important because many people have chemistry with people who are not safe for their hearts. They feel attraction, but they do not feel peace. They feel desire, but they do not feel clarity. They feel a strong pull, but they also feel anxiety. They feel excited when the person is present, but confused when the person becomes distant. They feel wanted, but not secure. They feel close, but not protected. And that is dangerous because attraction can make you ignore the absence of safety. When chemistry is strong, people sometimes tolerate things they would normally question. They tolerate inconsistency. They tolerate emotional confusion. They tolerate disrespect. They tolerate unclear intentions. They tolerate prayer. They tolerate behavior that does not align with peace. Why? Because the chemistry feels powerful. But strong chemistry should never be used as an excuse to ignore emotional danger. A person can make you feel wanted and still not make you feel safe. A person can create excitement and still not carry responsibility. A person can trigger attraction and still not be emotionally mature. So, before you give your heart, ask, do I only feel chemistry or do I also feel safe? Can I be honest with this person? Do they respect my boundaries? Do they respond with maturity? Do they bring peace? Or do they constantly create confusion? Because compatibility is not only about attraction, it is about emotional safety. And if someone is not safe for your heart, chemistry is not enough. Point number 3. Chemistry can be based on desire, but compatibility is based on alignment. Oh yes, Chemistry often begins with desire. You like the way someone speaks. You like the way they look. You like the way they make you feel. You enjoy their attention. You enjoy the emotional pull. You enjoy the excitement of possibility. But compatibility is about alignment. Alignment asks deeper questions. Do your values match? Do your visions match? Do your standards match? Do your beliefs match? Do your lifestyles support each other? Do your communication styles work together? Do your emotional maturity levels align? Do your spiritual priorities point in the same direction? Do you both want the same kind of future? Do you both understand what love requires? Do you both have the willingness to grow? These questions are not as exciting as chemistry, but they are far more important for building something healthy, because desire without alignment can become frustration. You may desire someone deeply and still not be aligned with them. You may be attracted to someone and still be moving in different directions. You may enjoy their company and still not share the same values. You may feel a connection and still not have the same vision for life, faith, commitment, or family. And when desire is strong but alignment is weak, the relationship may become a constant struggle. One person wants clarity, the other avoids commitment. One person values peace, the other creates chaos. One person wants spiritual growth, the other pulls them away from God. One person wants maturity, the other keeps repeating childish patterns. One person wants purpose, the other lives carelessly. That is not compatibility. That is tension covered by chemistry. And chemistry cannot carry a relationship that is moving in different directions. This is why you must look beyond attraction. Ask, are we aligned in values? Are we aligned in faith? Are we aligned in purpose? Are we aligned in emotional maturity? Are we aligned in what we believe love should look like? Because compatibility is not only about how well you connect, it is about whether you are going in the same direction. Point number 4. Chemistry can feel like fire, but compatibility feels like peace. Oh yes, chemistry can feel like fire, it can feel intense, it can feel exciting, it can feel consuming, it can feel like something is happening quickly and powerfully, but compatibility often feels like peace, not boredom, but peace. There's a difference. Some people are so used to emotional chaos that peace feels too calm for them. They are used to chasing, used to guessing, used to tension, used to mixed signals, used to emotional highs and lows. So when something peaceful appears, they may not recognize it as healthy. They may think, maybe there's no spark. Maybe it is too calm. Maybe it is boring. Maybe I need something more exciting. But sometimes what they call boring is actually safe. Sometimes what they call too calm is actually mature. Sometimes what they call lack of excitement is actually emotional stability. And sometimes what they call chemistry is actually anxiety. This is important. Not every intense feeling is love. Sometimes intensity is uncertainty. Sometimes intensity is fear. Sometimes intensity is attachment. Sometimes intensity is emotional instability. Sometimes intensity is the nervous system responding to someone who feels familiar, not healthy. That is why peace must be valued. Peace helps you see clearly. Peace allows love to grow without fear. Peace protects your emotional health. Peace gives your heart room to breathe. Peace does not mean there will never be difficulty. It does not mean the relationship will be perfect. It does not mean there will be no challenges. But it means the relationship is not constantly making you anxious, insecure, confused, or emotionally unsafe. A compatible connection should not constantly disturb your peace. It should not constantly make you question your value. It should not constantly make you feel like you are fighting to be loved. So before you give your heart, ask, does this connection bring peace or anxiety? Does it help me feel emotionally safe or emotionally unstable? Does it calm my heart or constantly disturb it? Am I calling chaos chemistry? Because chemistry may feel like fire, but compatibility often feels like peace. And peace is not something to ignore. Point number 5. Chemistry can start a relationship, but compatibility sustains it. Oh yes, chemistry can start a relationship, but compatibility sustains it. That is why many relationships begin strongly but struggle later. The beginning is exciting, the messages are frequent, the conversations are long, the attraction strong, everything feels new, everything feels possible. But eventually, the relationship must move beyond the excitement of the beginning. It must face real life. It must face communication. It must face a disagreement. It must face emotional needs. It must face expectations. It must face pressure. It must face decisions. It must face patience. It must face growth. And that is where chemistry alone is not enough. Chemistry may help two people enjoy each other, but compatibility helps them understand each other. Chemistry may create desire, but compatibility creates partnership. Chemistry may make the beginning exciting, but compatibility helps the relationship survive difficult seasons. Because when life becomes real, you need more than attraction. You need patience. You need maturity. You need forgiveness. You need honesty. You need shared values. You need communication. You need humility. You need emotional discipline. You need spiritual grounding. You need the ability to walk through conflict without destroying each other. If those things are missing, chemistry will eventually be exposed. The excitement may fade. The attraction may not be enough. The connection may become unstable. And the relationship may begin to reveal what was never built properly. This is why you should not rush, because the beginning feels good. Beginnings can be beautiful, but they do not prove sustainability. What proves sustainability is what happens when feelings are tested, when misunderstandings happen, when expectations appear, when boundaries are expressed, when commitment is required, when sacrifice is needed, when growth becomes necessary, when love must become more than emotion. That is when compatibility matters, because real love is not only about how well you connect when things are easy. It is about how wisely you build when things become real. But number 6, chemistry can blind you to red flags, but compatibility requires discernment. That's right. That's right. This is one of the most dangerous parts of strong attraction. When chemistry is powerful, people often explain away things they should examine. They say, maybe I am overthinking. Maybe they did not mean it. Maybe they will change. Maybe it is not that serious. Maybe I should give them more time. Maybe the connection is too strong to walk away. But a strong connection does not cancel red flags. A powerful attraction does not erase unhealthy patterns. A good conversation does not replace character. A beautiful beginning does not excuse dangerous behavior. If someone is inconsistent, pay attention. If someone is dishonest, pay attention. If someone disrespects your boundaries, pay attention. If someone avoids responsibility, pay attention. If someone makes you feel unsafe, pay attention. If someone keeps pulling you away from God, pay attention. If someone creates confusion and calls it love, pay attention. Because compatibility requires discernment. Discernment asks, what am I seeing? What pattern is forming? What fruit is this connection producing? Is this person emotionally mature? Do they have character? Do they respect my values? Do they bring peace? Are their words and actions aligned? Chemistry may say, but I feel something. Discernment asks, but is it healthy? Chemistry may say, but I'm attracted. Discernment asks, but are we aligned? Chemistry may say, but they make me feel wanted. Discernment asks, but are they safe? That is wisdom. Because before you give your heart, you must not only ask how someone makes you feel, you must ask what their presence is producing in your life. Is it producing peace, clarity, growth, prayer, purpose, self-respect, wisdom, or is it producing anxiety, confusion, compromise, fear, emotional instability, spiritual distraction? The fruit really matters. And if the fruit is unhealthy, do not let chemistry talk you out of truth. Point number 7. Compatibility requires shared values, maturity, and direction. Oh yes, compatibility is not just about liking the same things. It is not only about enjoying the same music, food, hobbies, or conversations. These things can be nice, but deep compatibility is about values, maturity, and direction. Values determine what matters. Maturity determines how love is handled. Direction determines where the relationship is going. If two people have chemistry but different values, they may constantly clash. If two people have attraction but different levels of maturity, one person may keep carrying the emotional weight. If two people have desire but different directions, the relationship may become frustrating and unstable. That is why compatibility asks serious questions. Do we value the same things? Do we approach love with similar seriousness? Do we communicate with maturity? Do we handle conflict with respect? Do we honor God in this relationship? Do we support each other's purpose? Do we have similar expectations about commitment? Do we both understand responsibility? Do we both value peace? Do we both have the willingness to grow? Compatibility is not perfection. No two people are exactly the same. Compatibility does not mean there will never be differences, but it does mean the foundation is strong enough to build on. It means the differences are not constantly destroying the peace. It means the relationship has enough shared values, emotional maturity, and direction to move forward wisely. Because love is not only about attraction, love is also about agreement. And the scripture says, can two walk together unless they are agreed? That question really matters. Because if two people are walking in different directions, chemistry may keep them attracted for a while, but it cannot make them aligned. So, before you give your heart, Ask, are we walking in the same direction? Are we building with the same values? Are we emotionally mature enough for this? Are we spiritually aligned? Are we compatible beyond attraction? Because compatibility is what gives love a foundation. Point number 8. Do not give your heart to chemistry without compatibility. That's right. The final point is this. Do not give your heart to chemistry without compatibility. Chemistry is not bad. Attraction is not bad. Enjoying someone's presence is not bad. Feeling drawn to someone is not automatically wrong. Chemistry can be a beautiful part of connection, but chemistry must be submitted to wisdom. It must be tested by time. It must be examined by discernment. It must be supported by character. It must be balanced by peace. It must be guided by God. Because chemistry without compatibility can lead to emotional confusion. It can lead to attachment without alignment. It can lead to passion without peace. It can lead to desire without direction. It can lead to closeness without responsibility. It can lead to heartbreak because the feelings were wrong, but the foundation was weak. And before you give your heart, you need more than strong feelings. You need wisdom. You need clarity. You need maturity. You need peace. You need alignment. You need evidence of character. You need to know that the person receiving your heart understands the responsibility of holding it. Because your heart is valuable. Your heart should not be handed over only because someone excites you. Your heart should not be given away only because the chemistry is strong. Your heart should not be surrendered only because the connection feels intense. Your heart desires more than sparks. It deserves substance. It deserves safety. It deserves truth. It deserves consistency. It deserves spiritual alignment. It deserves healthy love. So do not despise chemistry, but do not worship it either. Let chemistry introduce interest. Let compatibility determine access. Let wisdom determine pace. Let peace confirm what emotions cannot prove. Let character speak louder than charm. Let God guide what your feelings cannot fully understand. Because the goal is not to avoid love. The goal is to love wisely. The goal is not to become cold. The goal is to become discerning. The goal is not to reject attraction. The goal is to make sure attraction is not leading you into destruction. Before you give your heart, ask, is this only chemistry, or is there compatibility? Is there peace? Is there character? Is there maturity? Is there alignment? Is there evidence that this person can handle my heart with care? Those questions can produce and protect your heart. In closing, chemistry can be exciting, but compatibility is necessary. Chemistry can start the conversation, but compatibility builds the relationship. Chemistry can create attraction, but compatibility creates safety. Chemistry can feel powerful, but compatibility proves whether something can last. So before you give your heart, do not only ask, do I feel something? But ask, is this healthy? Is this aligned? Is this peaceful? Is this mature? Is this wise? Is this person's character strong enough to carry what their charm attracted? Because your heart is too valuable to be led only by chemistry. This is the heart behind my book, Before You Give Your Heart. It is a message about love, wisdom, healing, discernment, emotional maturity, and protecting the heart before giving it away. If this message speaks to you, you can continue the journey through the book and at www.beforeyougiveyourheart.com. Before you give your heart, make sure the person receiving it understands its value. And first, make sure you do too. Thank you for watching. See you next time.